broken by the playing of our national anthem. Of the NAIA Division II Men's National Basketball Championship. Again, I'm Scott McCauley. I coordinate the radio and internet coverage for this national championship and also get an opportunity to call many games locally here in Southwest Missouri. And my partner on many of those games, Perry Phillips, joining us for this first game. And yes, we are taking a chance as we have gone to overtime the first of the 2 days we've done this, so we're bound to change that streak sometime. Maybe it'll be today, but I'll tell you what, if this first game matchup is any indication, I think we're going to have a fun day for folks that have been following this championship. In fact, Matt Boss, the media coordinator for NAIA, who will be joining us on some games, not today but tomorrow, his headline for the tournament here, the championship first round madness reigns supreme, and that's the case as 10 unseeded teams have advanced to the second round, including the 2 teams we're about to bring you, the York College Panthers from York, Nebraska, and from about an hour and a half away, the Midland University Warriors from Fremont, Nebraska. York is the home team, dressed in their gray and blue uniforms. Midland is dressed in their road blue and orange uniforms. Here's the starting lineup for the York College Panthers. Delton Deal is their head coach. Desmond Strickland is a 6'0 senior from Wichita Falls, Texas. Dylan Brewer, 6'2 junior from Keller, Texas. Marcus Johnson, 6'0 senior from Leavenworth, Kansas. Havis Jackson, 6'6 junior from Hartsville, South Carolina. And Thaddeus Varmall, who was the Midlands Collegiate Athletic Conference Player of the Year, the 6'3 senior from Dallas, Texas. Todd Eisner is the head coach of the Midland University Warriors. Ben Emick is one of the starters, 5'11 junior. James Parrott, a 6'2 senior, along with Galen Gully, a 5'7 sophomore, all from Omaha, Nebraska. Jerome Vaughn also in the starting lineup, a 6'3 senior from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And Brandon Williams, a 6'6 junior from Detroit, Michigan. We've had a long time to visit about the tournament. We've had a lot of time to know these 2 teams very well, especially York, because they are in the Midlands Collegiate Athletic Conference. They make annual appearances here at College of the Ozarks. Todd Eisner, Perry and I have known him for a long time. Of course, he coached at Bellevue for a long time, and even though the Bobcats always wanted to beat Bellevue, Todd was always very gracious, and we appreciated getting to catch up with him when Midland made the tournament. And both had wins in the first round, upset victories in the first round, if you will. York was in overtime, 78-77 win over Davenport. Midland got by Eastern Oregon, a very impressive effort. That final score was 77-53. So we're set to get this one underway, and we hope you enjoy the action. We will, as we go through the game, kind of set you up for this second day. Again, only 6 seeded teams have made it to the second round. The top 2 seeds did get through, but a lot of scrambling from that point on. Havis Jackson will be jumping center for York. James Parrott will do the honor for Midland, and we hope you enjoy the action here from the NAIA Division II National Basketball Championship, and I think we're going to have a do-over on this one, as the ball went up into the air, a little mistimed, and this time a good jump, and it will get down to Midland, and we are underway here from the second round, day number 3 of the NAIA Division II Men's Basketball Championship. Drive to the basket. They try to throw Emick as Emick and Parrott try to hook up, and pass was a little too hard out of bounds. The thing that's really odd about this game, Perry, is you've got in York a first-time entry into the tournament as a drive to the basket, and that shot is going to be blocked. Johnson misses it. The rebound put back no good, and Midland will get it. And even though Midland's been here one time before, it has nothing to do with this group. It's all the way back in 2000. So in essence, you have got 2 teams with no tournament experience. They've already picked up 1 win, but here they are in the second round.
And it really both looked good in the first round. As a matter of fact, as we were talking and prepping for today, this was one of the matchups we were most looking forward to, and has the potential to really be another one of those barn burners.
Turnover here, though, is going to give it back to the York College Panthers. York with a record of 24-8 overall. Midland picked up their 20th win of the season in their victory on Wednesday. They are 20-12. Midland just got into the top 25 on the final ranking of the regular season, and that in essence is what got him in to the tournament. Here is a drive by Brewer. Kick out to Johnson. Johnson drives or passes it off, gets it back outside. Here's a Strickland 3 that's no good, but he's going to line for 3 as they're going to nail Ben Emick for the foul. The 5'11 junior from Omaha commits his first foul, and 3 free throws coming up. York, quite frankly, was not playing very good basketball coming into this championship, as they had lost 4 out of 5 games, and their 1 win was in the conference tournament by 2 at home to a team that was, I believe, the 7th place team in the conference standings. But they did eventually lose, but then they turn around and play a very good game here against Davenport, leading almost the whole way and having to hold on in overtime. Midland, even though they lost in their conference semifinals, beat Hastings, and basically that win over Hastings in essence knocked Hastings out and put Midland in, because basically Midland took Hastings' place in the national rankings, and that got the Warriors into the championship. They did lose to Dort in the conference semifinals. Of course, we're going to see Dort here a little bit later on. In fact, they play the next game here. All 3 free throws are made by Desmond Strickland, and York gets on the board. Delton Deal off the York bench cheering his team on. One thing about Delton Deal and the York staff, they are a very emotional, very energetic bunch. James Parrott gets the basket for Midland. At the other end, a block as Parrott comes all the way down to block the shot. Loose ball is going to be picked up by York, and then he's going to be called for traveling. Delton Deal very upset because he thought there was contact, and I think there was, but what came first?
I tell you what, Scott, no, it was hard to tell exactly. According to their call, the traveling versus we go the other way. Parrott, one of the players I was most impressed with in the first round. I had not had a chance to see him. His athleticism is incredible as he hits a 3-pointer here. You pointed out the block. At 6'2", he has 70 blocks this year, and it's because he's so athletic and has such long arms and gets up so quick.
Brewer misfires on a 3, and Midland clears the rebound. Now Midland up 5-3. Parrott has all 5 points. There's another layup. That one's going to drop down for Jerome Vaughn. And after York got the first 3 of the game, it's now Midland on a 7-0 run as the Warriors lead the Panthers 7-3. Kick outside. Shot is up. No good. Interesting, Varmall has not touched the ball yet for York. Not been able to get him the ball. Here's a 3 in the quarter from Midland. That one is short and goes over the backboard. 30-second timeout going to be called by York. York takes a 30-second timeout at 17:24 to go in the first half. And Midland leads York by a score of 7-3. Make sure to check out more exciting action of other NAIA national championships by going to www.naia.org. The Division II Women's Basketball National Championship is available now, and the Men's and Women's Division I National Championships will be coming up next week. NAIA.org, place to go for more information. Not having that many upset in the women's tournament, although the local team we follow almost got upset. They had to go to overtime College of the Ozarks, Lady Bobcats, a number 2 seed in that championship field, and they got pushed to overtime by Milligan, but did win. I think there have been a couple of upsets there, and again, they do see that tournament a little differently than this one. They go in pods, so everyone gets a seed. Here they just go with the top 16, although we don't see very many of those. You won't see very many of those in action today. A lot of them got beat in the first round. After the 30-second timeout, Brewer has the ball for York. Goes into the lane and is going to be fouled. Brewer kind of got caught between there and got bailed out by the foul. As Midland commits their second foul. First foul on Gully. Ball comes inbounds as the pass from Johnson goes in the corner to Jackson and back out to Brewer. And then stolen almost and running into the board and falling into media row is one of the Midland's players. I think that was Parrott that came running in there. Mike Rohrbach, one of the broadcasters for Indiana Wesleyan, I will tell him this. He actually was going to take a charge down there. He wasn't going to budge. He was just sitting down there minding his own business, and I think some of the Midland sports information folks were just on the other side of him there too.
She saw her coming, and she took cover. She was about to be hit, she thought.
Here's a 3 by Varmall. He knocks it down. Actually, it's a 2 as his foot was on the line. Thaddeus Varmall with his first basket. 7-5. York ends a 7-0 run for Midland. Missed shot. Rebound. York on the run. They do like to do this. Johnson for the layup. That is good. Marcus Johnson. And just like that, York comes back to tie with a quick 4-0 run. And the score is 7-7. Emig down the left part of the lane. Kicks it back out to Parrott. Parrott, free throw line jump shot, floater no good. Varmall tries to clear the rebound. It's knocked around and eventually picked up by Vaughn from Midland. Top of the key, Parrott drives, splits the defense, slams it home. Oh, it's going to be one of those games, huh? 9-7 Midland. Absolutely, 9-7 Midland. 16 minutes to go in the first half. Johnson throws it around the perimeter. Jackson now to Varmall. Varmall wants to drive. Shot off the glass and in. Thaddeus Varmall with his second straight basket. We're tied at 9. Emig down the other way for Midland. Goes to the free throw line. He's going to get an opening around Varmall, but Varmall partially blocks the shot, but then the rebound initially picked up by Williams for Midland, but then Varmall takes it away. Here's Brewer to the top of the key, and he's going to pull it back outside, and we'll set up the offense. 9-9 York. Midland all tied up. 15:25 to go here in the opening half. And we got a timeout as we're going to have a tennis shoe that came loose. The string did for Johnson. He's going to inbound right in front of us. Off to Brewer. 15:20 to go first half. York and Midland all tied at 9. Johnson right side to Jackson. Jackson holds it high, gets a back up top. Johnson wants to drive again, gets around 2 defenders. Basket's not going to count, but there will be a foul. And free throws will be coming up for the York Panthers as Johnson goes to the free throw line. York of the Midlands Collegiate Athletic Conference, they had a perfect trip to the national championship in the first round. 3 of 3. None of the teams were seeded, but all won, including the host College of the Ozarks, as they knocked off Northwood on Wednesday. Of course, we mentioned York beat Davenport. Bellevue upended Rochester yesterday. Also, the Great Plains Athletic Conference is who Midland is representing. And even though their conference champion got upset yesterday, Northwestern, the regular season champion, got upended. But Midland, along with Dort, are still here. And Dort looked pretty impressive in their game yesterday as well. We're going to see Dort coming up next as they're going to take on Indiana Wesleyan. That's another game I'm looking forward to. Don West and Dave Becker will have that one for you. Right now, we have a 11-9 score, York over Midland at 14:55 to go here in the first half. Parrott holds it high, goes left to Emig. Emig wants to go down low to Williams. Williams on the baseline, goes inside. Parrott can't handle the pass. I don't think he was expecting it. Quite frankly, he's pretty well covered by Strickland. Now Brewer with the ball, goes down court, shot off the glass, too short, and Williams will clear the board for Midland. Here come the Warriors on the run. Crossover dribble by Gully. Gully into the lane. Nice pass. Reverse layup, no good. They're going to kick it back out and almost get the ball stolen. And then as we're having a scramble around, a foul's going to be called to stop play. Kind of surprised he just go straight up with that one. Tried the extra pass and almost turned it over. 14:26 to go here in the first half. Some substitutes in the ball game. York brings in Amin Asiande, the 6'8" junior from Toronto, Canada. Here's Parrott drive, his one-hander short. Rebound picked up by Andre Vaughn. Another player just checked in for York. Vaughn gets it to Johnson. Johnson almost gets that shot to go, but does not, and the rebound comes to York, or comes to Gully from Midland. Quick pass in the corner, shot for three, in and out, no good. And high to get the rebound is Asiande. Brewer, top of the key, gets between the circles, goes left side to Vaughn. Varmall, baseline jump shot, too hard, but it falls in. A little hard, and now it's Midland that wants a timeout. Full timeout for Midland as the York Panthers have jumped out to a 13-9 lead at 13:39 to go here in the first half. The NAIA Champions of Character program helps students understand and embody what character truly means. It also provides student athletes, coaches, and parents the training to know, do, and value the right thing, both inside and outside of sports. Learn more at championsofcharacter.org. Scott McCauley and Perry Phelps here with you from the Keeter Athletic Complex on the campus of College of the Ozarks, the NAIA Division II Men's National Basketball Championship. Day number 3. It's round number 2. And as we've mentioned throughout, not a lot of seeds made it. The top 2 seeds didn't get through in William Penn and Cardinal Stritch, but it gets kind of scrambled from there. Coming up next, we'll have the matchup between number 10 Dordt and number 7 Indiana Wesley, one of the few seeded matchups we actually have coming up in the second round. I believe there's one other one as we take a quick check of the bracket. The noon game will be top seed William Penn against a team that looked very impressive on Monday, Bethel, even though unseeded, but still a top 20 team. Then the last game of the day session will have Bellevue and Cardinal Stritch, number 2 against the unseeded Bellevue Bruins. Go over the evening session momentarily. It's Midland ball. They trail 13-9, 13:25 to go first half. Parrott to the basket. We're going to wave off the shot as there's going to be a reach-in foul called on Vaughn as he drives to the basket. Avery Langford's now in the ball game for, or check that, Jalen Huser's now in the ball game for Midland. 6'3" sophomore from Papillion, Nebraska. Ball inbound, shot in the corner. That 3 ball is up, in by Emig. Emig knocks down the tray and cuts the lead to 1, 13-12. York's lead down to a single digit. Here's a drive by Brewer. The lane clears. He takes advantage of it. Dylan Brewer has his first basket. 15-12 York with 13 minutes to go in the first half. Gully over to Huser. Cross-court pass to Parrott. Parrott actually runs into the person that's trying to screen for him, but he gets the ball back. Now they'll go back up top and reset with 15 seconds to shoot on this possession. Parrott to the basket, has his shot blocked. Gets out of there by Asiande, and the rebound to Vaughn. Vaughn thinks about driving, gets it back outside, nearly loses the ball. In fact, he does as Gully grabs it for Midland, and now it's the Warriors on the run. He goes to the free throw line, pulls up, and he and Parrott miss connections on a pass going to the baseline, and it's out of bounds, and the ball will go back to York. 15-12, 12:22 to go first half.
A couple of miscommunications there between Parrott. Parrott actually thought they were going to lob and try to dunk, and as he backed away from the basket and tried to start going back out, the miscommunication, the ball's thrown away.
York basketball. And the ball will be knocked out of bounds. Varmall. Kicks it back outside. $11:53 to go before halftime. 15-12 is the score, and go to the basket. Varmall gets to the line. Two shots for Varmall. First one is up and in. That is Varmall, has 8 or 7. And the York lead goes to 4, 16-12. One more on the way. It's up, and Varmall knocks that one down. That is Varmall, 8 points. He's the leading scorer for York, averaging just under 20 points per game. Also an excellent free throw shooter, shooting almost 82% coming into the national championship. Gully with the basketball, now passes it over to Emig. Emig over to Williams. Williams gives it up, goes over right side to Gully. Now they're going to get it eventually in the hands. There's a high shot that almost hits the top of the backboard, and Varmall wide open at the other end. And yes, he will slam it home. That is Varmall now with 10 first half points, and Perry, we've barely played 9 minutes in this one.
And remember, the first 3 minutes, he didn't even touch the ball.
But he's picked it up quickly, and now Midland finds themselves down by 7. Here's Gully. Gully, top of the key, goes inside but overthrows Brandon Williams, and it'll go back the other way.
York is a team, Scott, as you pointed out, that we've seen several times because of their affiliation in this conference that we cover. But they are very streaky. When they get on a roll, they can put up points, and they can put them up in bunches.
Well, and the other thing that York has done is they've been involved in a lot of close games this year. And now they have lost some of those. They lost a few of those late in the year, but they picked up a lot of their wins early in the year in close ball games. So the point being is they know how to play in tight ball games. Even though this may be their first time at the national tournament, they certainly know how to play in pressure situations. Ball goes to the basket and will be fouled.
Midland foul number 10, James Parrott, his second personal foul. Warriors fifth, team foul.
Going to the free throw line will be Varmall. And again, we mentioned he's an 82% free throw shooter. The foul called on Parrott. That's his second. So all of a sudden now, not only does Midland have a deficit they're facing, but now one of their top players has 2 fouls. First free throw knocked down by Varmall as Parrott will go to the sideline.
Yeah, and that's big. You know, Parrott had just checked back into the game. Picks up number 2. That's 19.2 points, their leading scorer, and one of their best defenders now on the bench, and probably for a while.
Varmall makes the second one. Langford, who I tried to check in a moment ago, now has officially checked in the ball game. Avery Langford, the 6'0 sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska, now in for the Midland Warriors. 21-12, York on top, 10:40 to go before halftime. Quick pass in, kick out. Emick wide open for 3, short. And the rebound picked up by Havis Jackson. Down court, Vaughn tries to throw it. Goes right to Emig, who goes coast to coast, but will make the layup. Thought he was going to miss it, but it rolls, starts to roll out, and then just gravity takes over and pops it back down. 21-14. That was a big steal for Midland. Remember, York got up to a big lead Wednesday against Davenport, only to see the Panthers come all the way back, the Davenport Panthers, and nearly take the game, but York was able to hold on in overtime. Jackson just beyond the arc. Over to Vaughn. Drive to the basket. This is Mike Buffalo, who had some big baskets on Wednesday for York, and he gets one right here as the Panthers back up by 9, 23-14. Under 10 minutes to go before halftime.
And that was really a tough shot. He had an underhanded right-hander from the left side.
3 ball, no good by Gully. York back the other way. Varmall drives, and he will be called for traveling. Varmall got caught in traffic, and Delton Deal is questioning the officials, thinking there was contact there. I think there was contact there, but there's no doubt Varmall started to go down before the contact got there. 23-14, 9:35 to go before halftime. Emig cross midcourt. Gets to the top of the key. Goes over to Gully. Gully between the circles. Over to Emig. Emig picks up the dribble just inside the arc. Now they throw it around the perimeter. Gonna lob it inside. This is Vaughn. Vaughn tries to post up. Shoots over 2 York defenders. Misses the shot. Rebounded Jackson. On the outlet goes to Reggie Johnson. 5'10 senior from Dallas, Texas. Shovels it into Varmall, and Varmall, I think, tried to shoot before he had the ball. I think it took kind of a funny hop, and he started to turn. The ball wasn't there. It goes out of bounds and back to Midland.
Yeah, I think it slipped out of his hands. He's wiping his hands off now, trying to get them all dry so he's ready for the next time he gets the ball.
23-14. The lead for York is 9. We've been on 23-14 here for a little bit. We're at 9 minutes now and counting to go in the first half. This is the first game that will determine the field of 8 for tomorrow. Langford loses the ball, gets it back outside, drive to the basket. Ball lost by Emig, and he loses it out of bounds. Or at least he may have touched it on his knee and then dribbled it again. It was a double dribble, either that or out of bounds, and regardless, it goes back to York, and now York looking for a double-digit lead. 23-14, Panthers on top. 8:35 to go here in the first half. Brewer gets it to Strickland off the screen. Strickland kicks out to Brewer. Brewer very capable of popping the long-range jumper when they need it. Gets it over to Jackson. Jackson to the basket, cut off, goes back. Hook shot in the lane is short, and the rebound brought down by Vaughn for Midland. Outward side to Emig, who goes down the right sideline. Emig gets Williams. Williams one-hander. That was off balance and looked awkward, and the ball comes to Marcus Johnson. To Brewer. Brewer drives in, loses the ball, and goes back to Emig. I think he actually avoided the steal, but then lost it off his own foot or on his own leg. This is a 3 ball that's an air ball by Midland, missed by Langford, and now York the other way. Well, we've been stuck on this 23-14 for a while. Free throw line jump shot. That one is going to be no good. And the rebound brought down, and Midland wants a timeout, and they'll get a timeout. Midland timeout.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
At 7:35 to go before halftime. 23-14 the score, York on top.
You know, Scott, this is probably a good timeout for both teams. As you said, we've been stuck on this score for a while, and really the play has almost got to a ragged state, really, at both ends, especially when teams are trying to run their offensive set. This is a quick little 30-second break for the coaches to get back with the teams, get them back on track, because remember the middle portion of this first half here, they had really got going in sync, and we were seeing a nice offensive execution at both ends of the floor.
Keep playing, keep learning, keep growing. Game on. Learn more about opportunities to play in the NAIA at NAIA.org. 7:35 to go first half, 23-14 the score. I was kind of even feeling a little ragged myself trying to keep up on what was going on. You never knew where the ball was going to go. And sometimes when you play it at a great clip like they were doing, I mean, you're going to start making some mistakes like that, getting a little anxious. And I think that's kind of what happened. But now the teams, certainly Midland, hopes to settle down because that's why Todd Eisner called the timeout. Emig with the ball, gets trapped, kicks it back outside. Langford has it. Now goes left side. This is Emig. Emig cross-court pass. Langford, couple quick passes. Emig goes to the basket, kicks out. Free throw line jump shot is short. Rebound, though, to Midland. And they'll kick it back out. Emig will try a 3, and that one is short. Brewer has the rebound. It's taken away, but then it goes to York. They'll get it eventually down to Jackson. And there's your double-digit lead for York as Havis Jackson makes his first basket of the game. It's 25-14.
It's still not exactly the smoothest of fast breaks, but it ends all the same.
11-point lead for York. Midland in need of a basket, and they're not going to get one here. As Strickland steals the ball from Emig. Strickland down the left sideline. Johnson almost traveled with the ball, but get the ball away before traveling is called. Brewer, Johnson, he wants to drive. He does, and the shot is no good, and that's because it was a goaltending call on Brandon Johnson. So Marcus Johnson, Brandon Williams, I'm sorry. Marcus Johnson gets the layup